is very important to us. Please hold.
Hello and welcome back to
On hold with Lidio and
Hello
Roman.
and welcome back.
Please hold.
Hello,
On hold.
welcome back. Hello and welcome back.
Please hold.
On hold with Lidio and Roman.
Hello, welcome back. Hello, welcome back. Hello, welcome back.
Please hold. Please, 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 please.
Hello, welcome back. Welcome back to myself first because I haven't done a solo video in a while. I've been enjoying the live conversations with other people. I haven't really done a solo video in how long, I can't remember. But I am Lindy Ngongwani and welcome to my channel On Hold. And if you are new, welcome. Please remember to subscribe and comment on the videos. And if you have been with me from the beginning or you've been with us, welcome back. I wanted to do a live again this week, but there is something in my mind that I really wanted to talk about, and I thought, okay, let me just do this for this week. Firstly, I'm excited. It's October. October is good because it's my birthday month. So I get to have a birthday when everyone here was having birthdays all year. So now it's our 10. And then secondly, it's warmer. You know, we kind of like say goodbye to winter. Well, in Cape Town, winter lingers on a little bit longer than in other areas, especially inland. But at least we're also starting to feel the summer this side, or the warmer temperature. And warm weather is nice because then at least we get to go outside. There's more get-togethers, you know, because it's warm. You can go have drinks, sundowners, and the sun sets later, which is very good, and it rises earlier, so it becomes nice and clear early. So it's good. I think I just love October. I guess I can say many things about it, but I just love October, so it's nice. And talking about get-togethers, hey, I think I'm the only one who wasn't at any wedding in that long weekend of Heritage Day. Is it Heritage Day? Yeah, because the Heritage Day was on a Sunday, so the weekend was on the Monday. Statuses, people's statuses and Instagrams were full of weddings, congratulating people. People were getting married. Me, I'm thinking, where's everybody? Why are my people not getting married? Because I wasn't in any wedding. But what I'm saying also is, with that means families are getting together after a while, whether for a wedding, whether for family gatherings, whether for unveiling of tombstones, whether for birthdays, because it's that time. And it will escalate actually going into December now. No, it will escalate. I don't know what's wrong with this here. Okay. It will escalate as we go on and on and on, and there's more weddings coming and all of these get-togethers. Okay, so which is good because spending time with family, I know we had a family get-together and it was great. It also reminded me that, you know, with families come a lot of dynamics, not our gathering per se, but just seeing and observing and hearing people as they travel or come back from home, from events, from weddings, from all of these things. And as you talk about family structures and what happens in families. And the other time I also got somebody send me a kind of a WhatsApp picture or a post or, you know, those things. Also talking about families, but specifically about parents and children who talk, you know, conversations that are held between parents and children, specifically those conversations that can be seen as probably gossip, or those conversations that parents share with their children about family members or some of the family members, but are not really promoting any unity, you know, or they're kind of like gossip. If we had to just be blunt with it, they're just gossip. And I thought, okay, this is this is something that really, really we can talk about, because I know for sure that it happens a lot. So let me give an example. So we're talking about a situation, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about, a situation where parents talk to their children about other family members. So for example, I have my sons and I will say to them, you know, your aunt or your uncle and their children do this, that, or have been doing this to me for all this time, and don't trust them, don't spend time with them, don't visit them, don't eat at their houses, don't do all of those things. So, I mean, I'm here instead of talking about family and how, or just talking to them about their other family members, their uncles and that. What I do as a parent is to just start talking all of these things to them and sharing it with them. And I think we've seen it, because it normally comes down from one generation to another, where this family doesn't like this family and this family, but we are all one family. And probably for most families, that's been the one thing that has broken families apart. So you find that you're siblings, but you're not talking, or there is no love in between that. But what I want to really, really talk about is when that is the case. So you have siblings and then you guys don't get along for whatever reason, then you start putting that energy, that information into your children. So now I start saying to my boys, listen, this is a situation, I don't really feel them and all of that. I just go because I want to go. I just do this. But you know what? I actually don't want to be there. I actually don't like this and this and that and all of that. So now, then I think what got me to think about it was, I mean, when a parent does that and tells their child about such, what is the aim really? Is it because they're hurting and want to share it with their children so that their children can understand, or their pain? Okay? Or is it that they are warning their children against those people? Or is it because you want your children to take your side? Maybe there are other many reasons that I'm not mentioning that you can also mention. But I think the one that bothers me the most is where, as a parent, you're doing this to expect that your children must represent you or carry the feeling forward. Okay, pay it forward, carry it forward to the cousins or the uncle or whoever that person is. Because what I see is that I tell my children the story, and I tell them their aunt is not good, or maybe we don't get along, and this is what they do to me, and this is what I don't like them, and this is what is happening. Be careful, because they don't like me, they won't like you guys, and they will want to get to me through you, etc. However we put it. Now, what I also see then happens next is that as a parent, I will be monitoring if my child does anything different from what I've told them. You understand? If they're going to speak to their cousin or the aunt, if they're going to visit them, if they're laughing with them, if they eat there, if they sleep there, if anything there. And if they do, the pain and the betrayal that I feel is also very real. Because now my expectation is that they are supposed to listen to me. They're supposed to understand what I'm saying. I'm warning them. They are my children. They should at least take my side. And for that, you get upset. I told you guys not to do that. You guys keep on continuing with this thing. You're going to be on your own. I'm not going to come and protect you. I'm not going to come because you're on your own. I told you this. I told you, and I'm warning you. That's the one that bothers me, because that's the one that breaks families. Because now, as far as I'm concerned, my children and their cousins are not in this story. They are not in this history. They are not in this feud. Why am I sending them? Why am I pouring this? Why am I telling them to be and feel this way? And the next thing, I get upset when they talk or when they get along. I mean, what are they supposed to do? These people are their cousins. They need, and I don't understand as parents, what do we really want to achieve? But that bothers me. And And I really don't really appreciate it because people and families break. People carry the hatred that they don't understand where it comes from. They carry resentment and they carry jealousy and they carry anger that they really don't know where it all started from or where it comes from, why it was there in the beginning, how what's gonna end it. Nothing. Like people are angry about their own families or cousins or other families for something that they were never really a part of, and something they really don't understand where it started from or where it comes from. But they are owning their anger. They are so annoyed. They are on full hate of their own cousins and families because of what they were told by their parents. So, I mean, that's a very big burden to carry. That's a big burden to put on your children to have to represent for you or on your behalf. Is it really supposed to be like that? Is it really necessary? I don't think it is. I think it doesn't build families. I think it breaks families. It's similar to normal relationships. But what I want to say first before the relationship is it happens also a lot with your in-laws, like Bosqueeza, Makoti. It happens a lot there. I've heard some comments also from people who are in there to say, yeah, Mama Luma how or you or Squeezer, whatever, he doesn't like us since he got married to your uncle. This is what he's doing. Doesn't like us to visit, doesn't talk to us anymore, doesn't do this, doesn't do that. And all because we don't understand this new Makoti, or this new Makoti setting boundaries for herself and her husband, and all of a sudden there's issues. Relationships, children, parents that break up, similar thing. We kind of like have this need to tell somebody the negative thing and want them to help us in this pursuit to hate. So similar with maybe parents, if parents break up, the one parent who has the kids will try and say all of these heavy things to the children about the other parents because they want the children to be on their side. Your dad doesn't even pay this. Your mom is not even this. All of these things. So I guess as I talk about it now and think about it, I'm realizing it's happening in a whole lot of areas of the relationship. It's not even only about families where it's aunts and all of that, though it happens a lot. But couples do that when they break up. Friends do that when they break up. Yeah. So I know most of the time we want people to take our side and to understand where we're coming from and to support us, especially when there's sticky situations. I understand that part, but it must end somewhere. It mustn't be perpetual, and it mustn't be to a point where you get upset because your kids are talking to their aunt and you're not in good relationships with your sister or something like that. I know it's difficult. It's difficult because how do you expect anything to happen that is good from there? But I think we can control what we say. We can control how far we take the hatred, the anger, the jealousy, all of that. We can choose to say, okay, listen, kids, for me and your aunt, which is my sister, we really have our own differences. We have our own difficulties. It's been this way since we were young, or it started at a certain point. So we're not really very close or etc. However, that's between me and her. It's got nothing to do with you and her children or her family. So if you guys want to talk to your cousins, go ahead. If you want to visit your aunt, it's okay. But make sure that you try and separate yourselves from all of these stories, because if you go to her and she says something, I'm just letting you know so that you can understand. At least end it there. Not more spice and sauce, trying to make it worse. Don't do this, don't, oh yeah, now you're back, whatever. I mean, because that thing just causes a whole lot of unnecessary anger. I've seen many families break apart, and you ask the children why they're fighting so badly, and they're just fighting their parents' battles and their parents' feuds. They don't have any personal feuds themselves. They don't have any battles that they own in this story. It's just about what their parents told them. So I think we can do much better in terms of how we communicate, or how what we tell our children. If you're a parent as well, whatever your partner did, they did to you. You must understand that your kids might feel different, and they might not find that act so as bad as you found it, if you get what I mean. People have a different tolerance. And also with parents, children always love their parents no matter what they do. You could be the parent that is the villain, who's always shouting, screaming, and talking badly about their other parent, but they will not hate their parent. They will still want to get to know them. So I don't think that helps you in any way with your children when you badmouth. But I've also seen situations where kids really own their parents' anger, and get to the other parent and say, but you did this to my mom, and you did this to my dad, therefore I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to see you, I don't want to do all of that. Unfortunately, this is earth, and this world is hard. You need family, you need people by your side. If you alienate your children, or you alienate your family from your children, or your children from your family, it's not helping. One day you will pass on, and you will not be there, and your children will have to lean in to their families and their cousins for support, for help, for life in general. And you would have created the rift, and they cannot even mend themselves, with their families. So there is no guarantee. I think I always think about that myself, to say, I don't know my life when it will end, and I don't want my children to not be able to reconnect with my family or have relationships with my family, because they will need them, because I may not always be able to protect them or be here for them. Or sometimes when they grow up and they get out of the house and they want to go to universities and schools somewhere, they're going to need their families. So that's what's in my head, and a plea for us to please just be a little bit more gentle and think about what we are saying to our children, and try and stop spreading the gossip, the jealousy, the stories that we always that we carry ourselves about our partners or our relationships that have not gone well. Don't send it to your children. You are just pouring more poison into them. You are not helping them build. You're not helping them with mending relationships. You are just breaking and breaking and breaking. So I'm saying this because, again, like I said, it's that time for families to gather over weddings, parties, tombstones, and all of that. And those type of things show up a lot during these events, where you can see that there's a clear rift, or some people are avoiding others, or some people are still talking badly about others, etc. It's just a plea from one parent to other parents to please just manage it differently, and try and be a little bit more subtle. Don't be as aggressive about it. If there's something you need to say to your children, just let them know, but don't choose how they should interact with their families. Just let them know you have this feud, and that's all. It's between you and your brother, or you and your sister, and it ends there. And let them be. and let them still be able to interact with their families. So I really, really want to hear from you what you guys think about this. I am sure that you guys have experiences or have seen experiences, or maybe you are part of that type of a situation, and explain how maybe it has worked for you or not worked for you and your family. Okay, so it's family time. All we need is love, peace. We need our families. We love our families. There's a lot that we can build with our families. So please, yeah. Thank you so much for watching again today. And see you again next week.